Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. There's a lot going on, always, within the cryptocurrency space, nonetheless the Bitcoin space as well. If you've been following the channel, and I mean over the course of the last 3 months, 6 months, I want to say like even a month and a half, but that seems like a little bit more dramatic. We have a constant discussion about how much or how little Bitcoin there constantly is or is not on the market. I know that sounds confusing, but it shouldn't be at all. We've been getting news consistently that there are a number of entities who are openly, wink, buying tons of Bitcoin. And I say openly because this also means that there are tons of companies as well who are also not telling us that they're doing it when it's... The point is, a lot of Bitcoin has gone off the table. And I mean, this is also relatively within the last 2 years. We've seen it accelerate. Typically, as prices go down, the demand remains the same and or goes up. And what ends up happening is that we end up getting a lot of whale news, as we've been getting before. So we'll get whale news that this address accumulated 13,000 Bitcoin, or this address now holds 65,000 Bitcoin, or why did this one address buy over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin? And one of the most perplexing things about all of this always is that the price tends to continue to go down as we get this news. For some reason, normal everyday people, especially people who are not in the market, don't react to this news at all. And I've been bringing you the news to make sure that you all know what's going on as a bit of a rundown of the last half a year or so. We found out that I believe 83 or 85% of all Bitcoin is in the hands of people who have more than 100 Bitcoin. I think that's what it was. Basically, people who have been accumulating for a number of years and or very early. What was the other one? I think 93% of Bitcoin is now held by people who have more than one entire Bitcoin. We also had statistics relatively recently for wallets that have a Bitcoin or less, like going from 0.01 to a million Satoshis, which has also skyrocketed as well over the course of the last half of a year as more people are attempting to accumulate as much as possible now that they see that prices have been going up and Bitcoin has been doing miraculous things over the course of 2023. What was the other? We also just got some other type of news as well. It has something to do with like another massive amount of accumulation, but I can't remember exactly what the number was. That's what it was. It was that the news was or is that according to statistics from a company called Santiment and Glassnode, these are two companies who look through the chains to see exactly where coins are going. You can see that there are some metrics that say like short-term holders and long-term holders, basically people who are holding for less than I think a month and people who have held on for longer than 6 months, a year, 2 years. The long-term holders have also skyrocketed. I don't know why this is skyrocketed, but it's skyrocketed for this video, has also jumped up quite significantly. And it's now believed that the amount of liquid Bitcoin that's actually out there for people around the world to be able to accumulate is around 1.4 million Bitcoin. That is to say, 21 million maximum, believed to be 1.4 million Bitcoin for 8 billion people. And even the 1.4 million is just the amount of Bitcoin that's left on cryptocurrency exchanges. Therefore, leading people to believe as well, as a lot of you probably have your crypto on a crypto exchange, even though you don't intend on selling it anytime soon, what have you, that a lot of that crypto on there might also not be liquid, might not be up for grabs. It's simply in the wallet addresses of the cryptocurrency exchanges. Therefore, final point, leading us to believe that there could only, could only be around 600,000 or so Bitcoin actually up for grabs for 8 billion people. Everyone got it? I tried to give all the information as quickly as possible, but you know, life. The news today is that a major player who has been accumulating a lot of Bitcoin over the course of the last couple of years has once again re-entered the news. I think it's like the 5th time this year that they're in the news about their accumulation habits. They're called MicroStrategy. And the thing with MicroStrategy is they've mentioned to all of us before that they have a lot of Bitcoin. They want a lot more Bitcoin. The CEO of MicroStrategy, his name is Michael Saylor, has mentioned before, I believe I think he has a good 5 or 6 figures worth of Bitcoin himself. He's clearly one of the largest Bitcoin holders on the planet. And just from his company alone, they have re-announced, because we just had this news about 2-3 weeks ago as well. MicroStrategy, the company, has purchased another 14,620 Bitcoin. And geez Louise, they paid approximately $615.7 million. MicroStrategy came to fame years ago when they announced we're a publicly listed public something company. They have to register with the SEC, and that they were into Bitcoin. People loved it. The really crazy part is that people thought they were lightly insane because they kept on announcing that they were going to get themselves in debt to be able to buy Bitcoin. What do I mean? They were issuing like bonds or like things against their company that basically said, hey, you give us $1 million and in a couple years we'll pay you back 1.1 or 1.2 million. Sounds like a great deal. Amazing. However, no, there actually is no however. Every single time that they did this, because they purchased such a large amount of Bitcoin, Bitcoin's price actually went up. So the money that they ended up making, even from Bitcoin's price going up, they were able to even pay back some of their investors a lot earlier, while not and never actually selling any of the Bitcoin. Some other money that they had from behind the scenes, they got that money, gave it back to the investors, and they were like, cool. The weirdest part is that the first time they did it, it was it was like maybe $200 million, and then it was $500 million, and I was like, it's a lot of monies. And now they're doing $615 million. That's more than $500 million to buy 14,620 Bitcoin. They now have the company alone. This is one company, not 2 companies, not this is 5, but not 55 companies. They now have 189,150 Bitcoin, acquired for $5.9 billion at an average price of $31,168 per coin. The interesting part is that, as always, as MicroStrategy has purchased new Bitcoin, Bitcoin's price has gone up. So a lot of people are anticipating that even after the movements that we've already seen, that there's going to be another push higher. Keeping in mind that the numbers I just told you is that if there's maybe 1.2, 1.4 million Bitcoin on crypto exchanges, and maybe, that's a gigantic maybe, half of them are actually liquid, that leaves, of the 600,000 that there would be left for everyone on the planet, keeping in mind 8 billion people, I think that number doesn't resonate with a lot of people sometimes, as we've been talking about this over the last couple of years. 8 billion people will never, ever, 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 ever be able to hold as much as this one company. So yeah, a lot of this, of course, is floating around the speculation of what 2024 is going to bring us, how high prices are going to go, where the markets are going to go, what's going to happen with interest rates, the halving, the bundle of ETFs that everyone's expecting, you name it. It is a very interesting time in the market. I wrote on Twitter, I cannot be the only one who's feeling this in the air. There's so much energy floating around the market right now. It's like literally palpable. I have a lot of friends always messaging me, a lot of friends who are buying up, the entire spectrum of everything within the cryptocurrency, digital Web3 space right now, just basically speculating exactly where things are going to go. I repeat, if this is your first bull market in the cryptocurrency space, it's going to be a bit of a doozy because it's going to be crazier than you could actually expect. That's not a joke. You are going to see in the next couple of months, it is going to get, almost said wet and wild. It is going to get completely insane. But yeah, as always, the articles will be in the description below for those of you who would like to read it. I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.